Let's dive right into one of the most powerful allegories in the entire Bible from the prophet Ezekiel. Seriously, it's this incredible story of a nation's journey from being completely abandoned, left for dead, all the way to being decked out in unimaginable royal glory. It's quite a ride. And the story kicks off right here with this incredibly shocking and, frankly, graphic image. We're not just talking about a rough start. This is a picture of utter helplessness, of being on the absolute brink of death. And this is where the whole transformation begins. So this first stage is all about that radical shift from death to life. It's not a gradual recovery. It's a divine intervention, a powerful command that just completely reverses what looked like certain extinction. Now, you have to understand the symbolism here. The blood isn't just a gruesome detail. It represents a state of total impurity, total vulnerability, a condition where you absolutely cannot save yourself. And if you think about it historically, this perfectly mirrors Israel's situation as slaves in Egypt, where they were oppressed and even facing infanticide. Yeah, to really get this story, you kind of have to map it onto Israel's history. It all starts back around 1876 BC when they settle in Egypt. That leads to nearly 400 years of enslavement, where, let's be honest, from a human perspective, their future looked completely hopeless. And this is the turning point. Notice how it's repeated, live, yea, I said unto thee, live. This isn't just some helpful advice. No, this is a creative decree. It has the same life-giving power as when God spoke at creation. It's speaking existence into a situation where there was none. So after that decree of life, what happens? Growth. The nation just multiplies as the bud of the field. What a beautiful picture of this organic, unstoppable expansion. And this signals a really key transition. See, the nation isn't a helpless baby anymore. It's growing up, reaching maturity, and getting ready for a formal, binding relationship. And that's our next chapter. The story now shifts from a dramatic rescue to an intimate relationship. This is the heart of it all, a covenant of love. Okay, this phrase right here is absolutely crucial. I spread my skirt over thee. In the ancient Near East, this was basically the language of a marriage proposal. It was an offer of protection, of provision, of a lifelong commitment. You might remember this exact same custom from the story of Ruth and Boaz. It's a deeply personal, binding act. And here we have the climax of that union. It's sealed with an oath, a covenant. Historically, this points right to Mount Sinai, where God bound himself to Israel in this exclusive relationship. That phrase, and thou becamest mine, wow, so powerful. It establishes ownership not through force, but through love. So, the covenant is made, but the bride isn't quite ready yet. She needs to be prepared, purified, and set apart for her new holy purpose. And these two actions are packed with meaning. First, she's washed with water to completely remove the filth and defilement of her past. Then, she's anointed with oil, which consecrates her for a sacred purpose. You know, these steps are almost identical to the consecration rituals for priests under the law of Moses. The point is, Israel wasn't just forgiven, it was given a holy calling. Okay, now the story shifts again, and this is where it gets glamorous. We go from cleansing to this lavish, over-the-top adornment. This next phase shows Israel's elevation to a place of public honor, glory, and true royalty. I mean, just look at the clothing. The materials themselves tell a story. You've got broidered work, fine linen, silk. This is the good stuff. It actually echoes the materials used for the priestly garments and the tabernacle. Even the badger's skin for the shoes recalls the outer covering of God's own tabernacle. It's like God is clothing his people in his own holiness. And it doesn't stop with the clothes. Then come the ornaments, bracelets, chains, jewels, and the grand finale, a beautiful crown. This isn't just about looking pretty, it's a coronation. It symbolizes Israel's elevation to royalty, which lines up perfectly with its golden age under Kings David and Solomon, when the nation was powerful and respected. So what was the result of all this divine favor? A complete and total transformation. The nation went from being a bunch of wandering slaves to a prosperous, powerful kingdom, known for its wealth, its stability, and its wisdom. So we've hit the peak of Israel's rise to glory. But now we come to the most critical point in this whole passage. Where did all of this splendor actually come from? And the answer is Israel's beauty was not its own. its fame, its splendor, its prosperity. It was all a reflection. Think of it like the moon reflecting the light of the sun. Israel shone brightly, but it was shining with a glory that was put on it. It was a gift, not something it achieved on its own. And this verse right here? This is the theological anchor for the whole story. Her beauty was perfect, yes, but why? Because it was God's own comeliness, his own splendor, which he had put upon her. It was a borrowed glory through and through. And that's where this part of the story leaves us. You have this breathtaking journey from an abandoned baby in a field to an adored queen on a throne. It sets the stage perfectly for a tragic turn, and it leaves us hanging with this massive question. And that question, what on earth went wrong, is exactly what the very next part of this incredible chapter is all about.